Deep beneath the French-Swiss border lies a marvel of modern science, the Large Hadron Collider, a 27-kilometer ring of superconducting magnets capable of smashing atoms together at near the speed of light. The LHC, as it's known, is humanity's attempt to unlock the secrets of the universe. But what if, in our quest for knowledge, we inadvertently altered the very fabric of reality? Since the LHC's activation in 2008, a growing number of people have reported a strange, almost imperceptible shift in their perception of reality. Could this be merely a coincidence, or is there a more profound, more unsettling explanation? Have you ever paused amidst the cacophony of modern life and noticed a subtle hum? An almost imperceptible vibration that seems to permeate everything around you. Some dismiss it as tinnitus, others as the thrum of technology. But what if it's something more? What if it's the sound of our reality, straining at its seams? A constant reminder that the world as we know it is not quite right. Could this be the echo of the LHC, a ripple effect of its immense energy output? Or is it something more profound, a sign that we have disrupted the delicate balance of our simulated universe? Imagine for a moment that our universe is not what it seems. Could the anomalies we're experiencing, the Mandela effect, the altered memories, the distorted sense of time, be the digital equivalent of glitches in the Matrix? To understand the potential impact of the LHC, we must first delve into the heart of matter itself. Imagine, if you will, a realm far smaller than the atom, a realm governed by laws that seem to defy common sense. This is the quantum realm, where particles exist in a state of superposition, simultaneously both wave and particle. By smashing protons together at nearly the speed of light, scientists hope to recreate the conditions that existed moments after the Big Bang. These collisions release immense energy, briefly creating temperatures and densities not seen since the universe's birth. The LHC is, in essence, a giant microscope, allowing us to peer into the very essence of reality. When these subatomic particles collide, they don't simply bounce off each other. Instead, they engage in a dance of creation and annihilation, transforming energy into matter and back again, in accordance with Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared. Imagine two cars colliding head-on at unimaginable speed. The result is not merely a mangled wreck, but a burst of energy that radiates outwards, creating a cascade of secondary collisions. The energy released in these collisions gives rise to a shower of new particles, some familiar, others exotic and short-lived. But what if, in our eagerness to unlock these secrets, we've stumbled upon something we don't fully understand? In 2008, the world watched with bated breath as the LHC circulated its first beams of protons, marking the beginning of a new era in particle physics. The energy levels achieved were unprecedented, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge further than ever before. The discovery of the Higgs boson, the so-called God particle in 2012, only served to heighten this sense of anticipation. But alongside the excitement, there was also a hint of trepidation. Some scientists had voiced concerns about the potential risks of such high-energy experiments, suggesting that they could create miniature black holes or even trigger a catastrophic chain reaction. But what if they were right? What if, in our pursuit of knowledge, we crossed a threshold, a point of no return? Since that day in 2008, the LHC has continued to operate, pushing the boundaries of physics further with each experiment. But something has changed. There's a subtle shift in the air, a sense that things are not quite as they should be. Some attribute this to the weight of our discoveries. the realization that our universe is far stranger and more wondrous than we ever imagined. They point to the strange anomalies that have been reported with increasing frequency since the LHC's activation, the glitches in the matrix that suggest our reality is not as stable as we once believed. Could these be the unintended consequences of our scientific curiosity? It might sound like something straight out of a science fiction novel, but the idea that our universe is a sophisticated simulation has been gaining traction in recent years. Prominent figures in fields like physics and computer science have entertained this notion, pointing to the increasingly complex nature of our technological capabilities. Think about it. Our most advanced simulations can already create incredibly realistic virtual worlds, indistinguishable from reality for those immersed within them. Could such a civilization create a simulation so sophisticated, so detailed, that its inhabitants would be completely unaware of their true nature? If our universe is indeed a simulation, the question then becomes, who are the architects? What is their purpose in creating us, and what happens if the simulation malfunctions? Some speculate that we are simply digital experiments, our every thought and action monitored and analyzed by our creators. Others believe that the simulation is a form of entertainment, a cosmic video game played out on an unimaginable scale. Whatever the reason for our existence, the implications of living in a simulated universe are profound. If we accept, even for a moment, the possibility that our universe is a simulation, then the anomalies we've been discussing take on a whole new meaning. The Mandela effect, with its shared false memories, could be seen as a glitch in the matrix, a sign that the simulation is not updating properly. The distorted sense of time, the feeling that something is off, could be the result of the simulation struggling to maintain its integrity in the face of some unseen error. Could our reality be experiencing something similar? The ominous hum that many report hearing could be the digital equivalent of a system warning, a sign that the simulation is nearing a critical point. Of course, the idea that the Large Hadron Collider could have somehow damaged the fabric of our simulated reality is still highly speculative. There is no concrete evidence to support this claim, and many scientists would likely scoff at the notion. However, the fact that we cannot definitively rule out this possibility is itself intriguing. If our universe is indeed a simulation, then the LHC, in its quest to probe the fundamental building blocks of matter, might have inadvertently struck a critical chord, sending ripples through the very code that underpins our existence. The consequences of such an event are impossible to predict, but one thing is certain: it would forever change our understanding of our place in the cosmos. The Mandela effect. Perhaps you've heard of it, perhaps you've even experienced it yourself. That unsettling feeling of déjà vu, mixed with the unshakable certainty that something fundamental is just different. Named for the collective misremembering of Nelson Mandela's death, this phenomenon goes far beyond a single historical event. It encompasses a growing number of shared discrepancies, from altered movie quotes to product names that never were. Could this be mere collective delusion? Or could it be something more? A crack in the very foundation of our reality, a telltale sign that the simulation is breaking down. Imagine for a moment that our memories are not our own. That instead of being etched into the fabric of our minds, they are stored externally, accessible on demand like files on a cosmic hard drive. What would happen if that hard drive were to malfunction? If data were to become corrupted, overwritten, or even deleted entirely? If our reality is a simulation, then our memories, our very identities, are ultimately digital constructs, vulnerable to the same glitches and errors that plague any computer system. Have we always been this forgetful, or is something more sinister at play? The namesake of this strange phenomenon, Nelson Mandela's death, or rather the widespread misremembering of it, serves as a potent illustration of the Mandela effect's unsettling power. Millions of people across the globe vividly recall Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, his funeral a global media event. Yet historical records clearly show Mandela living well into the 21st century, passing away in 2013. How can such a significant event be so thoroughly misremembered on such a massive scale? Perhaps a system update, a patching of the simulation's code, inadvertently altered the timeline, creating a ripple effect that shifted our collective memory. The Mandela effect, with its myriad examples of shared false memories, challenges our very understanding of what is real and what is not. It suggests a fluidity to reality, a malleability that is both fascinating and deeply unsettling. While skeptics continue to offer rational explanations for the Mandela effect, dismissing it as a product of faulty memory or internet-fueled mass hysteria, the unsettling truth remains: something is amiss. Whether it's a glitch in the matrix, a cosmic prank, or simply the limits of our own perception, the Mandela effect serves as a stark reminder that the universe is far stranger and perhaps far more fragile than we ever imagined. Time, that relentless river, carrying us ever forward from the cradle to the grave, or so we thought. Since the activation of the LHC, many have reported a strange warping of this fundamental aspect of our existence. Days seem to stretch on longer than they should, hours evaporating with alarming speed, as if the hands on the clock are themselves subject to some unseen force. Many point to 2008, the year the LHC first roared to life, as a turning point. The river of time, once a steady current, now feels more like a turbulent sea, unpredictable and disorienting. Ask yourself this: do you ever feel like there's simply not enough time in the day anymore? That despite your best efforts, you're constantly playing catch-up, deadlines looming ever closer? This pervasive sense of time pressure, of being perpetually behind schedule, is a common thread in many accounts of the post-LHC world. Some theorize that this temporal distortion is a side effect of the LHC's immense energy output, its experiments somehow creating ripples in the very fabric of space-time. Others suggest that our perception of time is linked to the simulation itself, and that the glitches we're experiencing are causing a sort of temporal lag, like a video game struggling to render the next frame. Whatever the cause, the effect is undeniable. We are a society increasingly obsessed with time, our lives ruled by schedules, appointments, and the relentless ticking of the clock. But what if the clock itself is broken? What if the very measure of our existence has become unreliable? Imagine living the same day over and over again, the same conversations, the same routine, the same events. This is the premise of countless science fiction stories, but what if it's not fiction? Some believe the LHC's activation may have trapped us in a temporal loop. This could explain the unsettling feeling of déjà vu. Have there been days that seem to blur together? Could this be evidence of a temporal loop in action? The present moment, that elusive point where past and future meet, feels increasingly fragile. Our memories of the past are hazy, unreliable, subject to the Mandela effect's capricious influence. Our hopes for the future are clouded by uncertainty, a sense that the ground beneath our feet is constantly shifting. We are, in a very real sense, adrift in a sea of time, buffeted by forces we cannot comprehend. The LHC, in its quest to unravel the universe's mysteries, may have inadvertently unleashed something far stranger, far more unsettling than we could have ever imagined. It has, perhaps, set in motion a chain of events that could ultimately lead to the unraveling of time itself. Imagine a computer struggling to run a complex program. The fan whirs, the screen flickers, and the whole system slows to a crawl. To prevent a complete crash, it enters power-saving mode, shutting down non-essential functions to conserve energy. What if our universe is experiencing something similar? Since 2008, many have observed subtle but persistent changes in the world around us. The vibrancy of colours seems muted, the sun's warmth less intense. Could this be the universe dimming its lights, so to speak, as it struggles to cope with the strain placed upon it by the LHC? The very laws of physics, once considered immutable, now appear to be in flux. Gravitational anomalies, fluctuations in the speed of light, strange quantum effects, all point to a reality struggling to maintain its integrity. It's as if the universe itself is running on fumes, desperately trying to avoid a complete system shutdown. But what if this power-saving mode is not a sign of defeat, but rather a desperate attempt at self-preservation? Just as a computer runs diagnostics and attempts repairs in safe mode, could our universe be enacting its own recovery mechanisms? The strange hum that permeates our reality, the Mandela effect's rewriting of history, the temporal distortions, all could be signs of the simulation attempting to correct the errors introduced by the LHC's activation. Like a surgeon operating on a delicate organ, the universe must tread carefully, making subtle adjustments to the fabric of reality to avoid catastrophic consequences. The increasing frequency of dreams, premonitions, and other psychic phenomena could be interpreted as a side effect of this cosmic debugging process. As the barriers between dimensions thin, glimpses into other realities, other timelines might be bleeding through, offering tantalizing hints of the forces at work behind the scenes. If our universe is indeed a simulation, then the question arises: what happens when we reach the limits of its programming? What happens when the code can no longer sustain the illusion and the true nature of our reality is revealed? Some believe that such an awakening would be a catastrophic event, a shattering of reality as we know it. Others envision a more gradual transition, a slow dissolving of the veil as we become aware of the true nature of our existence. Imagine for a moment the implications of discovering that everything you thought you knew, everything you held dear, was nothing more than a sophisticated illusion. Your relationships, your accomplishments, your very sense of self, all revealed to be constructs within a digital playground. But what lies beyond the code? Who are the architects of this grand simulation, and what is their purpose in creating us? These are questions that may forever remain unanswered, but the very act of asking them opens up a realm of possibilities so vast, so mind-boggling, that it challenges our very understanding of what it means to be human. Perhaps the simulation hypothesis, for all its unsettling implications, is ultimately a message of hope. It suggests that our existence, far from being insignificant, is part of something far grander, far more complex than we can currently comprehend. The LHC, in its quest to unlock the secrets of the universe, may have inadvertently opened a door to a realm beyond our wildest imaginings. Whether we are ready or not, the journey has begun. The notion that our reality might be a simulation is profoundly unsettling. It challenges our assumptions about existence and perception. The evidence, while circumstantial, is compelling. The Mandela effect hints at a malleable reality. A distorted sense of time suggests a universe struggling to maintain equilibrium. The pervasive hum could be the digital heartbeat of a collapsing reality. These ideas are not easy to digest. They require us to confront the possibility that everything might be lines of code. Whether our universe is a simulation or not, the quest for knowledge is an essential part of what makes us human. The Large Hadron Collider represents the pinnacle of that quest. As we delve deeper into the heart of matter, we must proceed with caution. The universe is vast and mysterious, and our understanding is still in its infancy. We may not like the answers we find, but we must keep asking the questions. The journey of discovery is worth taking, for it is in the pursuit of knowledge that we truly discover ourselves.